Hello students. In the first part of this video, we discuss regarding the natural resources and its sub-classification. Now in this part, we'll discuss the other two classification of resources, that is human-made resources and human resources themselves. So let us start. The proper use of natural resources depends upon development of technologies and economic conditions. Sometimes natural resources are not used directly. Whatever we fetch, they are called natural resources. But like water, air, sunlight, we are using it directly. But some natural resources, or we can say many natural resources are there, they cannot be used directly. So in the proper use of that, to make a proper use of those natural resources, it depends upon the development of technologies. It means whatever technologies we are having and economic conditions of the user, right? This is because natural resources cannot always be utilized in their raw form, but need to be processed and changed from their original state. So this is the definition of human made resource, that some natural resources we can fetch it, but we cannot use it directly or in its original state or original form. In order to use that resources, we need to modify that resource, or we need to process over that resource, or we need to change the state or a form of that resource, and then and only then it can be used. So that is called human made resource. It is in this regard that human made or cultural resources assume great significance. That is why it is called human made, or we have another name also, cultural resource. This word has great importance. These resources play a vital role in the utilization and development of natural resource. Right? Human made resources play an important role, very important role in utilization, it means in using, and in development of natural resources also. Now let us take an example regarding anything you are using, right? Either they are natural resources or they are human made resources. For example, chair you are using, so chair is human made resource, but it has been produced from what? Natural resource. Okay, why natural resource? Because chair is made from generally wood, and wood is obtained from forest. That is why it is called natural resource. Clear? Wood is cut from the trees, and wood is more furtherly cut and processed and shaped into the shape of chair. Then it can be usable. That is according to the human made resources definition. But why it plays vital role? Because many machines are there. All the machines are human made resource, but machines are made from what? The steel or iron that is there in the machine, it has been fetched from nature, that is ore, mineral ores. Then they were melted, they were shaped, and they were cutted, they were shaped, bent, and more different processes were observed on there, and ultimately the machines were created. Now those machines are useful in many other processes in order to even fetch natural resources also. For example, in farming process, many instruments are there. All the instruments are human made. Human made instruments are used for natural processing also. That is why they are very important. So what are the processing of human made and what they include? Human made resources, so they primarily include our technical expertise. It means human made resources are not made effortlessly. So they need technologies also, technical expertise also. They need government structures. They include government structures that sometimes include political and economic institutions also, right? So in order to change the state, or in order to have a process on that, or in order to modify resources, these many things are also utilized, right? So this is called human made resources. Next is human resources, right? The third topic of the classification of resource. Human resources that constitute human beings themselves. It means humans are only human resources. Now the question can come that why humans are resources? So the simple answer is, without humans nothing is usable. So the user of all the resources are very importantly humans. That is why humans themselves are also resources. Human resources constitute human beings themselves. Without human beings, no gift of nature can be developed and utilized as a resource. Without human beings, no gift of nature, nothing that can be fetched from nature can be you developed or can be utilized as a resource. Just think or just imagine, if humankind would not have been on this earth, then more than 99% of the resources would have been unused, right? So who is the ultimate user of these resources? Humans. That is why the third classification of resources is human themselves, right? So without human beings nothing would have been used. That is why human resources. Along with educational expertise, a healthy human population helps in the religions, economic and social development, right? For the resources to be used, what humans have to have, that humans have to have educational expertise. It means that some knowledge humans should have in order to use the resources. With that, health is also an essential and important and vital thing, because healthy person can do everything. If health is not well, then person cannot do anything properly. So with the use of knowledge, health also helps in regions, economic and social development. So if you, in order to develop further, right, then you need to have knowledge as well as health also. Next is, human resources are assessed both in terms of quality and quantity. Quality, you know, some expertise, some knowledge, or the things which is unique, and quantity, it means number. So humans can be referenced in two way. Quality humans are having, and quantity, that number of humans, right? These two aspects are to be considered in determining their importance. So how humans are important, if you want to know that, then we need to observe these two aspects. This is that is quality and quantity. Then we can determine, that is decide the importance, how humans are important. There must be enough humans to exploit the natural resources. Now resources are, just imagine the situation that there is ample amount of resources and there are no humans or very little humans to use those resources, then human resources are lacking in number, right? So enough humans should be there to exploit, it means to utilize the resources. They must have the techniques to utilize resources in the best possible manner. Before 200 years, say for an example, the humans were not really human resource, because whatever minerals and whatever treasures that were there beneath the earth, It was not rather located, not rather used, not rather known also. Right? So ample amount of resources were there at that time, but it was of no use because humans were not knowing about it. Right? So this was regarding human resources. Now, how to conserve? Conservation of resources, how to conserve it? Conserve it means to save or to use it carefully in order to save it. Modern civilization and life itself depends on natural resources. Today also, yesterday also, it means in the past also, and in future also, mostly human civilization will be depending upon the use of natural resources. Without natural resources, human survival is very difficult, or we can say impossible. We need to be concerned about whether there will be enough to sustain development, not just for few people now, but also for future generations. God has, or nature has, gifted us with the varieties of natural resources, an ample amount of natural resources in huge and large amount. But if we will use it carelessly and not carefully, then it will be over some bad day. Right? So we need to be concerned. It means we need to be worried about how we are using it. The question can arise that should we stop using it? No, we must use it. God has gifted us these resources for our use only. But if we use it carefully, then it will be over very quickly. We need to use it as per our particular requirement only. Right? So we do not have to think regarding that this generation most of the minerals are available, resources are available, and what about next generation, that next generation will think. So it is not something we need to think, but also for future generations we have to think. Exploitation of a natural resource sometimes has unintended consequences. If we keep using very carelessly these resources, then someday it will, then it is called exploitation. Exploitation, it means using without any responsibility. Then someday it will be over very quickly. So it can have sometimes unintended consequences. Consequences means bad results. Unintended, it means we haven't thought regarding how bad consequences it will be. So we need to use it very carefully. For example, when coal deposit undergoes strip mining. Now what is strip mining? Let us see. An open cast mine. It means to dig in order to fetch the mineral, that is called strip mining. Now there are two kinds of mining. Open cast, right? Open cast mine, it means that the mining and fetching the resources which are at the very not deep depth, right? That is called open cast mining, right? So strip mining, in order to when coal deposits undergo strip mining, the flow of groundwater may be disturbed. When we obviously coal is very useful for us, so in order to fetch the coal, if we undergo the strip mining process, though at that time because of strip mining or because of over strip mining, the groundwater level or flow may be disturbed, obviously while we are digging. So flow of groundwater will be disturbed or will be stopped somewhere in between. So that flow is suggested to satisfy the water needs of the region that is ahead. But if it stops, then it will cause wells to dry up. Then wells will be dried up. Poor farming methods have ruined much farmland and left it barren. Barren, it means now land is not able to fertile, now in unfertile land, right? So we need to use it or do it all the process very carefully, right? So this is conservation. Now steps to conserve resources. What are the steps we can take to conserve the resources in order to be useful, in order to make it useful in the future and for future generations also? Today, with steady growth of population and the increase in production, the need for conservation means prevention of loss, waste, damage, or destruction of resources through their care and proper management, right? So that is called conservation. Use it very carefully in order to not waste it, right? So increase in production, the need for conservation of our natural asset is greater than ever. Today, according to the population, number of population, and according to our needs also, we are using natural resources is greatest than ever. In the past, we haven't used this way and in this number. So the process of conservation even allows some non-renewable resources to be used over a longer period of time, right? This, if we can conserve the resources, then there is very clear aspect and clear logic that we will be able to use it for the long time. Let us take an example of pocket money. The pocket money your daddy gives you, right? If you save it, rather we can say that if you do not spend the money uselessly or without any reason, for example having chocolates or something like that continuously, then you can save the money. Then by the saved money, in the nearer future you can purchase your favorite thing, right? So if you conserve the resources, then the resources will be conserved and saved for a longer period of time in order to be used by the next generations also. We are over dependent on non-renewable resources. Generally, whatever non-renewable resources are there, unluckily we are dependent. That is not a bad thing, that to be dependent on the resources, but we are over dependent. So being over dependent on anything, it means very dangerous thing for us. People must look for alternatives to resources that are becoming scarce. Scarce means lack. Lack means now the resource which are being scarce have no more numbers, right? So it means there is possibility that it may be scarce in nearer future. It may obsolete, it may be vanish in nearer future. So we must look for the alternatives. Alternative, it means we have to see for the option that in nearer future, if we will not have, or if this particular resource, then what will we do? So we will have to think for the option of it, right? For example, aluminium may be used in place of copper for many purposes. So almost many purposes, there is the best option of copper, that is aluminium, right? While copper is scarce, why we are thinking for the option? Because copper is not available in bigger number. It is available in very scarce, right? And it is non-renewable. That is why we have an option of copper, that is aluminium. Deposits of bauxite and clay contain more aluminium than people can use. As the copper is scarce, it means we are afraid that in the nearer future copper will be obsolete. It will not be available for us. But deposits of bauxite and clay contain more aluminium than people can use. So aluminium is available in ample amount of quantity, then we can use it very well. Even if natural resources are conserved and developed properly, the earth will be unable to provide enough food if the population keeps increasing at an alarming rate. So, this is also the very uh, point or matter to worry. We or the governments of the countries of this world have to think over controlling the population. If the population keeps increasing in this alarming rate, then whatever number of available of production of food, it will not be enough because increasing amount of population. So population needs to be controlled. The growth of world population must be controlled to allow for a better quality of life and sustainable management of resources. Right? If we want to use the resources very well, if we want to conserve it, then how can we conserve it? How can we save it if we just limit or if we just control our needs? So, in order to food, we have to control the population. We need that population does not pass the control line, right? It always be beneath the control line. Then and then only we will be able to manage the natural resources. We must avoid disastrous changes in ecosystems even as we try to increase agricultural land use, forestry, fishing and water development. Now someone can say that farming is very natural process. Fishing, farming, water development, making dams, conserving water is very natural process, but we need to understand that even by doing this we also harming our mother earth. So we need to control this process also, right? So by doing this we need to control the disastrous changes, the changes that may have the very bitter result or consequences. We need to control that also. Fumes from automobiles and smoke from factories poison the air. As we all know, air pollution is because of the particles that are coming out from the machines. Even ACs are also prone to air pollution. This kills trees and endangers human health. So because of air pollution, it is also harmful for us. Even it is also harmful for wildlife also and ecosystem also. So we need to control the use of this kind of technology also. Government regulation can control this damage to environment by reducing the emission of poisonous substance. So government can set the rules regarding how to use this kind of emittive vehicles that are emitting smokes and many machineries. So government can set the rules, and yes, many countries governments have set the rules regarding these pollutions. Indian government also has some board in Gujarat. GPCB board is that is Gujarat Pollution Control Board, right? So every district level these GPCB offices are there, and their task is to take care of the pollution controlling. We must adopt proper waste management techniques. Right? Nowadays it is very fueling points, right? Burning points, that waste management, right? People throw waste over here and there, particularly in developing country. So this needs to be controlled, this needs to be taken care of. This is also responsible for the disturbance in ecosystem. Each of us must take responsibility for our actions and attitudes, right? The single even smallest thinking also matter. Smallest positive thinking can make the biggest better or the best, and even smallest negative thinking can even ruin the society of the country. So while when it comes to responsibility, all of us needs to be united and need to think in the same way. How can we conserve the resources? Otherwise, we may lose it. Next is each one of us must learn to take care of our immediate environment. Right? Many of us always forget that we are the dependent of environment, not environment is dependent on us. So we are fully dependent on environment, right? And we are even polluting environment, we are not taking care of environment, we are being just careless in terms of environment. So this is not fair, even not fair to us only, right? So even those who think that they are selfish, so even selfish person thinks good for them. So if we want to think good for us, then we need to conserve our mother earth, we need to conserve our resources. An understanding of resources is vital to their management and eventual utilization, right? We need to understand the resources, and this is very important. If we just do not know the importance of resources, then we do not know, we just do not consider the importance of resources, and that is why we cannot manage the system of resources. So we need to first understand the importance of resources. The successful management of resources to maintain and enhance the quality of environment will not only meet the needs of present generations but also sustain developments in the times to come. This is most important. If we successfully manage resources, it means we are able to even manage the resources very successfully, that conserving resources, using and consuming resources up to particular level as per the needs only and not wasting it. So as a result, what we will get is we'll have the resources not for our current generation or present generation, but it will be used or it will be available for the next generations also, right? So here with this we just conclude our chapter number 11, that is types of resources, right? It was very easy in explanation. Still any doubts, please contact me, right? Till the next chapter, see you in the next chapter. Till that, Jai Hind.